MULLEN stock has been dropping non-stop since the beginning of February, losing more than 70% of its value in less than 2 months. With no end in sight, just how far down can MULN stock really go? But there is a big deadline coming in the next 2 weeks, which I will discuss later in this video. So in today's video, I will be looking at Mullen Automotive, ticker symbol MULN on Nasdaq. This is a stock that has been called many things over the past year, including the next Tesla or even a Tesla killer. But Mullen stock has more red flags than any stock I have ever analysed. I called the stock a joke in 2022 when the share price was over $3, and even back as recently as January when the stock was 36 cents. I outlined some reasons why this stock was about to tank again, and guess what? It keeps getting worse and worse for Mullen Automotive, MULN stock. Now despite the drop, you might have heard that Blackrock and Vanguard are loading up on Mullen stock. That Blackrock and Vanguard wouldn't be investing in this unless it had potential to go massively up, and that Blackrock and Vanguard don't invest in scam stocks. Well, in this video I will discuss this too. If you're new to the channel, remember to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into some news from this week and how it has affected the stock, or at least why it has not affected the stock in a positive way. So first of all, this article states that Mullen stock fans should mark your calendars for April 3rd. Now this is the deadline for the 60-day pilot program with Menzies Aviation and Loop Global that was announced on February 2nd. This should be a huge catalyst for Mullen stock, but it is important to know that Mullen has a very bad history with these pilot programs, and I will talk more about this in a moment. But before we even get to that, the end of Q1 is in sight, which means that there is an even bigger deal on the table right now. And the clock is ticking for Randy Marion deliveries. Mullen is on the clock for delivering on the $200 million order for an enterprise level client. Now for anyone who is somehow unaware of this, in December 2022, Mullen disclosed a purchase order for 6,000 Class 1 EV cargo vans from Randy Marion Automotive Group. As per the press release, the firm order agreement is worth approximately $200 million. Headlining the press release is a message that deliveries for the order are to commence in the first quarter of 2023. Now obviously, the end of Q1 is approaching in a matter of days, with Mullen providing little to no update. The company unhelpfully reiterated the basic terms of the deal in its latest statement. And this was only last week, where David Michery said that they anticipate making these deliveries on time. But David Michery has said this kind of thing before, which is highlighted very clearly with a very simple question. Mullen stock. Whatever happened to Mullen's Fortune 500 customer, and has a Fortune 500 company actually ordered vehicles from Mullen? So a lot of Mullen fans have only been watching this stock for the last few months, and looking at the comments that I see on social media, some people seem completely unaware of things that Mullen have said in early 2022, while most MULN fans seem to be completely unaware of anything before 2022. So let's dive into this a little bit, because it's all of these points that I'm about to make that give serious doubt about Mullen's potential deals. David Michery noted last year that Mullen would announce a major Fortune 500 company customer by Q2 of 2022. Now Q2 of 2023 is quickly approaching, and there is still no word on this customer. Back in his interview, Michery went on to explain that everything about the deal, such as the order size, delivery timelines, etc., would be disclosed via a press release at the end of Q2, but also noted that the customer had initiated a pilot program for the van and was pleased with the results. So look at this. This is what happened just after that little interview. The stock took off on hype, going from around $2 up to over $3 on the day. However, now nearly a full year later, Q1 of 2023 is about to end, and there is still no word of this Fortune 500 customer. Where and who is Mullen's Fortune 500 customer? In June 2022, Mullen announced that it had delivered a pilot program van to a telecommunications provider in the southeast part of the US on May 12th. Still, the announcement did not mention any Fortune 500 company. Mullen's vice president of marketing also stated that the modified vehicles would be returned to the customer in August. So I am wondering when or even if we will ever hear anything about either of these potential deals. On the bright side, however, Mullen could potentially deliver its vans to another customer if all goes well, and that is the 6,000 unit purchase order of $200 million from Randy Marion that I already mentioned. So should Mullen shareholders expect to hear an update by April 3rd? Or will David Michery fail to deliver once again? After all, Each of the deals that were announced to build hype at the same time as Mullen was flooding the market with hundreds of millions of shares, which they have done again this time, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. If you want me to discuss this, then drop a comment below, and I will make a video showing just how much Mullen is screwing investors over every single time they announce a new huge partnership or massive press release. Remember the battery technology announcement that sent the share price soaring nearly 150%? Or the time Mullen announced a partnership with Next Metals, which a senior Next Metals executive later said did not exist? Not many people will even have heard of the $60 million purchase agreement for 1,200 commercial EV fleet vans by Heights Dispensary, or the December 2020 deal for 10,000 Mullen 5s from Unlimited Electrical Contractors Corp. Of course, this was back when Mullen were calling their prototype the MX-05 before redesigning the body. This is the company that Hindenburg found out only had 11 vehicles at the time, none of which were electric. So what in the hell was this company ever going to do with 10,000 vehicles? But my personal favourite is of course the DSG Global deal. Long before most current Mullen fans had ever even known Mullen existed, DSG Global and Mullen Technologies were launching the new 100e golf car at the PGA show. Now this is from 2016, and just look at this hype nonsense here. The 100e is the world's hottest new all-electric low-speed vehicle that is both street legal and course legal. You can get in the car at home, drive to your favourite golf course, play around at golf and drive home. Working with Mullen Technologies, a leader in the electric car market, a leader in the market guys. Mullen, who have never sold anything, are a leader in the market. What a press release. Mullen Technologies is proud to join forces with DSG Global, said Mullen CEO David Michery. DSG Global is the perfect company for us. They have a worldwide presence and are aggressively moving in other areas that will benefit both companies. Now DSG Global is far from a world-class company with a worldwide presence. This is literally a 3-cent penny stock on the OTC markets, a company with a current valuation of less than $6 million. Very far from a world-class company with a worldwide presence. But of course, maybe I'm being critical. Maybe Mullen will surprise everyone and actually follow through on a deal for once. After all, Blackrock and Vanguard are loading up on Mullen stock supposedly, like I have seen in countless videos over the past 6 months, saying how Blackrock and Vanguard keep buying Mullen stock. So let's look at Fintel, and it says it here very clearly. 211 institutional owners and shareholders have filed forms 13D or G or 13F forms. These institutions hold a total of 113.5 million shares. And looking down here further, we can see that BlackRock and Vanguard are two of the biggest institutional shareholders. Now I am looking here at just the 13Fs because this is the total amount. I will make a video where I'll look further explaining the MPs or the import forms for the individual ETF breakdown later if that is something you want to see. Drop a comment below and let me know if this is of interest to you. But we can clearly see here that Vanguard has a total of 45.6 million shares while BlackRock have 26.4 million. So I decided to make a graph to show you just how much Mullen stock that these institutions own as a percentage of the full Mullen outstanding shares. Now look at this graph. This is really simple and really basic. This is how much they actually own of Mullen stock after months and months of so-called loading up on shares. Between BlackRock and Vanguard, they only own this teeny tiny little percentage of about 3.3% of the entire company. Making video after video saying that BlackRock and Vanguard are loading up on Mullen stock is an absolute joke. And the majority of this is tied to these companies' ETFs, whether that be an ETF that tracks the Russell 2000 or 3000 or just growth stocks or the entire overall market. Now something that I have not mentioned in this video at all is the fact that David Michery has given himself more shares for free in 2022 than either of these BlackRock or Vanguard have loaded up on. And he has also sold more shares than either of these own. And I plan to make another video about this very soon, so let me know in the comments below if this is what you want to see. Remember guys, that as usual this is a video about news and facts. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. All facts are backed up by evidence, and there is links to this in the description below. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts, and always do your own due diligence. Never blindly listen to any YouTuber without doing your own DD and reading up on the facts. If you enjoy my content, and the fact that I bring you facts that other channels don't want you to know about, then help the channel and smash the thumbs up. And I will be putting up another vote on the channel later today, so remember to vote on what video you would like to see next. As always, I do try to respond to all comments, and whatever is voted for, I will make a video about. If you are not a member of the Discord community, then check this out and talk to me about any stocks or what you think of any stocks. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.